shit. What a pay-per-view. I take back what I said about this being a lackluster Extreme Rules pay-per-view because it might have looked like that on paper, but after watching the show, that was a great fucking pay-per-view, especially as a, follow-up to WrestleMania. I say thumbs up. Alright, let me just quickly go through these matches. We had a pre-show United States Championship match, which I don't know why the fuck this was on the pre-show, especially when I saw the 2 bonus matches that got added to the pay-per-view. I'm like, really? We couldn't have the US title on the show? Really? Really? Speaking of that, on the pre-show match was The Miz. He was fighting Santino Marella, who was the champion. The match went by pretty damn quick. It was like less than 10 minutes long. Santino won. I'm like, wow, they're really treating The Miz like shit. Apparently it's because of the Survivor Series buy rates weren't that much, and it's like, wasn't Rock and Cena a part of that tag team match as well? But The Miz gets punished for that? Okay. I mean, I don't like The Miz or anything, but I just don't think that makes sense. But alright, fine, whatever. Then we get into the actual pay-per-view. Falls Count Anywhere match. Randy Orton versus Kane, and that was a good match to start the show. I love that they fought throughout the crowd. They fought backstage. Even Zack Ryder had a moment where he jumped in there and got his licks in, and I was like, fucking A, They treat Zack Ryder like shit, and at least he got some TV time or something, Randy Orton won. Great RKO on the chair. I loved it. Then we had a bonus match, the first bonus match of the night. I think there was 2 of them. This one is Dolph Ziggler versus Brodus Clay, where hooray for Dolph Ziggler being on the card, but Brodus Clay, fuck you, Brodus Clay. I don't like you anymore. I might have liked you for first month or 2, because I'm like, oh, this is different. Oh, this surprises me. It's sort of entertaining. Reminds me of Rikishi or Flash Funk, because that's who you stole your gimmick from. But at this point, especially now that Hornswoggle has been crowbarred into your little gimmick or whatever you want to call it, it's played out and it's annoying. And I was rooting for Dolph Ziggler the whole time, just like the crowd was. The crowd was pretty much rooting for the same people I was rooting for. Dolph Ziggler was one of them. And, of course, when he didn't win, I was just like, whatever. Fucking, they're going to dance for like an hour, so I don't care. Then we had, they spun the wheel on the pre-show for the Intercontinental Championship match. Big Show and Cody Rhodes. It somehow landed on tables, even though it was spinning, slow down, oh, sped up, spinning again, no tables. It's like who fucking rigs these wheels? Anyways, so the Big Show versus Cody Rhodes. I wanted Cody to win, but I didn't think he would. And I do think it's a little weird the way how he just he drop kicked him and then Big Show just 1 foot went to the table. But I love Big Show's reaction when he's like, oh shit. And then the referee stopped the match. So Cody's your new Intercontinental Champion. Hip hip hooray. But then Big Show put him through a table twice. So he's a little banged up, but what are you going to do? World Heavyweight Championship. Yes, yes, yes. 2 out of 3 falls match. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. Great match. Talk about taking the disappointing 18 seconds match that they had at WrestleMania and coming back strong with one of the best matches I've seen this year. It was kind of a cheap, first fall was DQ. But then he made Sheamus pass out. And I was actually starting to think that Daniel Bryan was going to win. Especially because of the crowd was so behind him that I was just like, wow. Fucking people are going nuts. Daniel Bryan's the fan favorite. And they're totally behind him. Then again, we did get our first ever chance of no along with the yes. But Sheamus somehow with the bro kick won. Like I said, great match. Much respect to Sheamus. I like that he fought through the pain and whatnot. Then the second bonus match of the night was a handicap match. Ryback versus... yeah, I don't know their names. I'm just going to call them the Baba Canuch brothers. Because they were fucking annoying. 2 is greater than 1. 2 is great. It's like, dude, come on. They said that for 4 or 5 times. But Ryback is the new Goldberg, as you heard the crowd chant. Goldberg, Goldberg. I mean, I said this on SmackDown. when I was watching him wrestle. I'm like, he reminds me a lot of Bill Goldberg. He's like this new generation's Goldberg. But hey, the people are reacting to him, so that's something, right? A lot more than I can say for fucking Brodus Clay. Anyways, the WWE Championship match, Chicago Street Fight, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. Another great match. It was brutal. I mean, they fucking went at it. Especially, I love that CM Punk's sister was out there. I thought maybe his mom and dad would be out there, but his sister was actually pretty hot. Huh? But anyways, when she slapped Jericho and then Jericho lunged at her, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Punk went crazy, and he won the match. Great match. Then we had the Divas Championship, which I actually got a text from WWE saying that Beth wasn't medically cleared, so I hate that they did the whole backstage segment of like Beth saying, "What? That can't be! What do you mean I'm medically cleared?" It's like, we already got the text. We know this before you do. How does that make sense? But anyways, and I was thinking Karma. I was like, oh, Karma's gonna come back, but Eve said it's not Karma. Then I started to think, hey, why don't you have it be Brie, Nikki versus Brie for the belt? That'd be cool or different. But it was Layla. I'm like, Layla, fuck. We haven't seen her in almost exactly a year. She fought Michelle McCool last year at Extreme Rules, and she injured her knee. So she's been gone for a year, and she came back and won the belt. And she beat Brie for the belt, even though it was Nikki. I don't know, it sounds confusing, I know, but I'm surprised Layla won. But hey, good for her, you know. I don't mind Layla. Then we come to our main event. Extreme Rules match. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. And man, did Brock Lesnar whoop John Cena's ass, brought the fucking pain, made him bleed in probably 18 seconds. But he didn't beat him, but he made him bleed that fucking quick. Elbows to the back of his head. They looked like they would have stopped the match like 2 or 3 times. Cena was like pouring blood. I was saying to myself, wow, Brock Lesnar is going to rip John Cena a new asshole. There was no way I thought Cena would win. My friend was actually texting me saying, oh, there's no way that they would have Cena lose 2 big pay-per-views in a row. And by the end of the match, he was right. And I was shocked because seeing Lesnar dominate that whole match, and it was like an MMA match or a UFC fight. It was weird, especially the way he looked, his new UFC or MMA attire, whatever you want to call it. But I just thought Lesnar would rip Cena apart, and he did. But Cena with the chain, and then the FU, or I'm sorry, the attitude adjustment, fucking gayest name ever, on top of the steps, and Cena won. Wow. My reaction to that was, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? How did that happen? The referee was counting by Lesnar's feet, so I don't even, like, he didn't even know if Lesnar's shoulders were down, but whatever. It was a great, I mean, it wasn't like a great match, it was just a brutal match. And it was intense, and it was fucking real. Especially, I'd say, the first 2/3 of it was real. Was Lesnar really beating the shit out of Cena. And then when Lesnar went for that move where he ran and jumped up and jumped on Cena and almost killed himself, I'm like, Lesnar, didn't you learn from when you almost broke your neck from that shooting star press so many years ago? But he almost like snapped his leg jumping out of the ring. I'm like, Brock Lesnar's a fucking animal. There was even a part where he had Cena's blood on his hand. He's wiping it on his chest, and then he licks his blood. He licks Cena's blood. I'm like, this fucking guy is crazy. He's a killer. I don't know. I mean, Cena said that he said his arm was hurt. He might take some time off, or he alluded to getting fired or something. I'm like, what? What are you talking about, dude? I just assume he's going to take some time off now, which I do think it's needed. I think Cena does need to go away for a while, even if it's just until SummerSlam. Just take some months off. He deserves it, and it would be a good way to get some more guys in there. And where does Lesnar go from here? I'm shocked that Lesnar lost this match, and where does he go now? He still looked like a badass, and he still looked like somebody that you don't fuck with, but he did lose his first match back. So, yeah, all in all, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view was fucking insane. It was great. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't better than WrestleMania, obviously, but it brought the pain. It brought the extreme, and I was surprised. So, Let me know in the comments what you thought of Extreme Rules and whether you disagree with me, agreed with me, whatever. But thanks for watching, everyone. See ya!